Welcome back to Bitsby Trippin'. This is your host Carter. Let's get into this. Now this is going to be a real quick one, straight to a shortened version of the live stream I just did on can you mine and play video games at the same time if you use a secondary GPU. Now in this case we're going to use a mining edition GPU. You can pick these up pretty cheap now in the secondhand market. In this particular case we're using an RX 570 16 gig. Now I wanted to try the 16 gig variant of this from Sapphire to see how the GRIN 31 performance would be. This requires a lot of extra memory, and this card was really kind of designed around being able to do GRIN C31. In addition, we do some ETC mining while playing, top tier AAA title with RTX on, playing Battlefield 5. Now let's get to the live stream and tell me what you guys think here. I think another option for folks. Can you game if you put a secondary GPU in your machine while you're mining? Will it impact your gaming performance if you're mining constantly? What we're going to do is we're going to check some real world testing today on that particular question. What I have set up this morning is a RTX 2070 with a Sapphire RX 570. I got the 570 16 gig in there right now because I want to test the C31 performance on GRIN. Sapphire RX 488 gig. That you can pick these up pretty cheap. I've seen these as low as $85. When you're looking at the 8 gig RX 470s right now, your only real issue with these ones are usually if the fans go out, but the fans are pretty cheap replacement, and these are still really solid cards. These cards still get close to 31 mega hash all day long on Ethereum Classic, the Etash currencies. They get about almost 900 hash on Monero, which is pretty decent, BitTube, those types of currencies, and they don't put off a lot of heat comparable to a normal retail GPU. So we got some basic numbers. This thing hasn't dropped on 60. Let's take a look here. Options, video, full screen, motion blur, vignette, everything's on. Basic settings, so that's going to be RTX right here. Frame limiters 200, scaling, max fidelity. So I haven't seen it yet drop between 60. We're going to go ahead and fire up some GRIN mining for right now and let this kick off. The Sapphire RX 570 16 gig, we're going to be doing GRIN 31 performance right now while playing Battlefield. So you can see that it's hitting just the GPU 0, which is the AMD GPU that's in here. Let's go ahead and start seeing if it's mining. And here we go, we got in 0.47. Oh, like a boss. Get wrecked. I'm not seeing any frame drops at all right now. No glitching. Oh my god, I'm horrible at this. Still no frame drops. Let's check the 0.471. Mining, no problem. Let's keep the game going and let's try some Claymore. Now I have set this Claymore for ETC and I have set this for just GPU 0 through using the dash DI. So you have to figure out which GPU, if you're running 2 GPUs in your computer, you have to figure out which port number that's on, and there's a few different ways to do that. You can open up GPU Z, you can figure out which slot it's in. Also, most of the miners these days have kind of a device lookup which will show you which device it is, or you can just start it and see which one it is. It'll give it a call out if it's GPU 0 or 1. So we're going to fire up this right now as the game is switching maps, and we can see that it's got the RX 570, 16 gigs of RAM. We're at 29 and a half, 30.3. Looks like 30.3 is holding. So let's go back to Battlefield here. So that's the case, and you can see where the heat is primarily on that bottom GPU, but the rest of the ambient around there is about 38 Celsius. So with the case side open, what I'm going to do right now is we're going to continue on with it, and I'm going to put the actual window on the side of the case, and we're going to take thermals after that to see how much hotter the ambient of that gets with having even like the actual case side on with it mining still. Oh my god, look at all that cheddar. Gotcha, dog. Dude's everywhere. I was going for that other guy. How does the heat feel? It's pretty warm. I'm going to take another hit because I can definitely tell the heat's out there. Let's check the performance now that we have the heat situation going here. And let's open up, actually, I should have this on here. We want to run GPU Z. We're holding about 54C right now. We're at about 67C. Fan speed's about 36%. This is what I was talking about with the mining edition type of cards. They seem to be a lot more efficient when it comes to the heat. So we're gonna put on RTX now. So now we're gonna try this with RTX on. Again, we got the Sapphire RX 570 16 gig card running Ethereum right now. I'm gonna switch this probably back over to running GRIN C31. What do I do for another grenade, bros? Oh, you know what? I can be a bro here and give these guys some look-see of where the enemies are at. There they are, bros. Dude's coming around this corner right now. Sorry, bro. With buying another GPUs used for mining and gaming streaming. So far, it looks like it, man. You know, a cheap $85 RX 570 or 470 mining edition. So this GPU is profitable doing GRIN 31. It's about $9 a month, and it estimated gets you about 4.5 GRIN a month. I can't mine on the 1080 Zotac amp. Well, you can't, so you should not mine and game on the same GPU. In our particular case here, we have 2 GPUs. The mining edition GPUs like this one here, which is the Sapphire RX. This is an 8 gig model. This is the RX 470, but you can get these as low as, you know, I've seen these as low as $50, but most of them go for about $75 to $85 a piece. For $85, the ROI on that's very, very quickly, even if it's not very profitable. I think it's an interesting perspective. I have several of these mining edition cards that just around here that I'm going to put in my machines as I'm gaming, and then look, because I'm already paying the overhead cost on the actual motherboard and CPU, and that was part of what also helped me try to drive this decision. If I'm going to have a gaming machine, it's going to have a CPU in there, and I'm already using power, then I'm already making that capital cost of power usage already. So right, wrong, or indifferent, when I'm gaming, I'm using 200 to 300 watts of power. You guys saw that when I was gaming. That's a sunk cost. I'm already paying for that because I want to game and I'm going to be using energy. So the whole other play is the fact that I'm only now just calculating the cost when it comes to the additional wattage that I'm using on a card like this, which is 120 watts, 150 watts max, right? So then that 150 watt cost, what's that now going to, you know, cost you in power?